Hey guys, welcome back to episode 4 of the series, this MoneyNote series. This is the final episode. In this episode, we're going to be working on the consumption of the item stack, the MoneyNote item stack, so that when we right click it, it adds the balance of the MoneyNote to our player balance. So do this, we're gonna need a listener, and but first let's go ahead and create a listeners package, and then we're gonna create a class called ItemConsume Listener. We're gonna implement the listener from bucket. All right, now we're gonna create a method called onItemConsume, and the way we're gonna check and verify that whether a player is trying to consume a money note is by using the event called playInteract You can search this on the Spigot's documentation to learn more about the event and what you can do, but I'll be just showing you why we're going to be using this event to do what we need for this MoneyNotes plugin. So for all events, we're going to add the event handler here, and then we can work on the method. Before we continue with this method, I found some bugs prior to starting this episode that we need to fix before we continue. So just go ahead and go to the MoneyNoteHandler class that we made. And first thing first, let's go ahead and remove this method, that the update player balance method that we had made to remove to withdraw a portion of from the player's balance. So let's go ahead and remove that, and then we have to go to the withdraw command class, and we're gonna remove this, and we're just gonna add the method that was within the update method, which was the main.get economy, and withdraw, and put it exactly here instead, directly there instead. So the next thing we got to do after that is we're gonna go back to the MoneyHandler class, the MoneyNote handler, and we're gonna go to the get amount method, and we're gonna change this a slight error that we made on this line where we initialize the string amount. And basically what we need to do is, what we're doing right here is we're trying to strip the color from the low data one, and we're trying to remove the first character by indexing the substring, and by beginning at the second index, that is, sorry. That's essentially what we did to remove the money symbol, but we're doing that on the value that has the chat color symbols attached to it. So to fix that, what we need to do is first we need to add the brackets, the end bracket here. So first we need to strip just the value here, the money symbol value, strip the color from it so that it removes the symbols that's within the string that we won't be able to see. And then we're gonna do the substring to get rid of the money note. So that was just a quick bug that we did. We made an error. So now that we did that, we are going to remove that. But before I remove this, yeah, when we add this one, we're gonna have to remove one from this side. So just remove it, and then we can, well, you wouldn't have this. I'm just going ahead and remove that, and then that should be good. Now I think that's it, and we can go ahead and go back to the, yeah, we can go ahead and go back to this. So with this, what we're gonna do is first we're gonna get an instance of the player, and we do that by just doing player is equal to, and then we're gonna utilize the event, and then you can see it has a get player, and we can just do that. The second thing we want to do is we're gonna get the item that the players interacting with. So we're gonna do item stack item is equal to, go ahead and import the item stack from bucket, and then we're gonna do event again and then get item. That's just gonna give us the item that the player is trying to interact with, see in hand. So next we're gonna do some null checks. So this is important because if we don't do this, we're gonna have some console errors, and we don't ever want console errors with our plugins. So the first thing we're gonna do if, and then we're gonna do if item is null, or if the item does not have item meta, then we're gonna just do return a true, and that's just gonna, oh my god, I can't type, return true, and that's, oh, not true, sorry, just return. That's just gonna account for these things and not cause, it's just gonna prevent it from causing any error messages in the console when we try to interact with like the air. Like if we right click like this, it can throw errors because we are technically interacting with the material of air. So yeah, next, if all of that is fine and we do have an item that's not null that we're interacting with, and it also has item meta, then we can go ahead and do if the event dot, and then we're gonna do get action, which is the type of action, the way in which the player is trying to interact, and then we're gonna do equals, and then we're gonna get the action, which in this case we want right click air action, right click air, and I'll speak on this more in a bit, or event dot get action dot equals, we're gonna do right click block. So if it's any of those, then we want to consume the item stack. So what this one is, right click air is basically if we have an item in our hand like this, and if we right click it while looking at nothing, which is air, then we would want the MoneyNote to be consumed. Or if we have the MoneyNote in our inventory in our hand and we're aiming at the block, when we right click, we want the MoneyNote to also be consumed. So that's what we're gonna account for this with right click both air and right click block. Next, we're gonna need another if statement to check to verify that what we're trying to right click is indeed a MoneyNote. And there's many ways to do this, but the easiest way is just by using the display name, which is the MoneyNote, and then in bracket it says right click. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do if, and then we're gonna use utils.color strip color, because the display name has color. We just want to remove that, so we just have the text itself, which it says MoneyNote, and then right click in brackets. So we're gonna strip the item dot get item meta dot get display name, and then at the end of that we're gonna do dot equals. So if the display name itself without the color codes is equal to MoneyNote, we gotta put it, it's important that you put it exactly how it is with caps and everything. So we're gonna do MoneyNote, and then it's right click, and then that's that. And then we can do this, go into the if statement. All right guys, so at this point we know that the player is trying to right click a MoneyNote by either right clicking air or a block. And so if they're doing that, then we're gonna have to handle the case by adding the amount represented in that MoneyNote to the player's balance, and also a few more things. So the first thing we're gonna do is get the amount, And we're going to do this by creating an amount integer, and we're going to use MoneyNoteHandler to get the amount, and we're going to pass in the item stack. This is the method, the last method that we created here in this class, and that's how we're going to get the amount from the item stack, the MoneyNote item stack. So next, after we do that, we're going to add the amount to the player's balance by using main.getEconomy deposit player, and then we're going to do pass the player in and then the amount that we want to deposit. After that, what we need to do is account for any situations where the player is trying to right click a money note that has a stack that's greater than 1. So this is a MoneyNote item stack that has just one amount. This is a item stack MoneyNote that has 64 of that item. So if they're trying to right click this, it should update to 63 and so on. Every time they consume one, it should update the amount by removing 1 from the item stack. If not, then they would just be able to have infinite money by clicking this infinitely. So to handle that, we're gonna use the last method that we added in the Utils class in the episode 1. It's called updateItemCount, and we just simply pass the item stack that we're trying to update. And if we go back to it, you can see that if the item stack that get amount is equal to 1, which is in this case, then we're just gonna remove it and it's gonna be equal to air, which is this. Else, if it's greater than 1, it's just gonna remove 1 from the amount that it had. So if this is 64, when we right click, it's gonna go to 63 because it's gonna remove 1, and then set the amount to the new amount and return the item stack. And when we return the item stack, we would have it here. So this is actually returning the item stack. And so if we remove this, what we need to do is go ahead and set that in the player's hand, because obviously the player is going to be holding the item stack in their hand to consume it. So we need to do player.getInventory.setItem in hand, and then we can paste what we just did with the update item stack method. So it's gonna set the item in hand to the new item stack with the new amount, and that's how we're gonna deal with that, so that it updates the amount every time the player consumes a money note. Lastly, similar to the withdraw command, we're gonna add a player message that tells the player that they have successfully consumed an MoneyNote item stack. And in this case, we're gonna use the color, and we're gonna use green, and we're gonna use a plus sign now, and then we're gonna do the money symbol, and then outside here we're gonna add Utils, and then we're gonna format it again, and then the amount, and then that should be it for this listener. So with that, we're going to now be able to, similar to commands, we need to register our events in our main. So to do that, we go here, we come here, we do get server get plugin manager register events. So be careful, there's event and there's events. We're gonna do this one, and then it has 2 parameters. So we're gonna do the listener, create a new instance of it, and then we're gonna it wants the plugin, which is this class, which represents our main class. So we just put this, and that's how we register events, and then that should be it. We can now go ahead and just run jar, wait for it to execute. Let's go ahead and add it to our plugin folder, and then let's go ahead and reload. This should work. Let's see, waiting for the reload to finish. So now we can check our balance. Let's go ahead and set our balance Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and set our balance to 100,000. And now let's go ahead and try to consume this. See, it updates to 63 and we gain $1,000. We've checked our balance. We have 101,000, 102,000, 3, 4, 5. Check our balance again, 105,000. And we can go ahead and withdraw 105,000. We have it here. And we can do val 0. We can add it back, 105,000. So we've successfully made this MoneyNote plugin. That's gonna be it for the series. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and if you did, please leave a like and continue to share the video with your friends that might be interested. And yeah, I just want to thank you for your support on the entire series. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next project. Bye.